Today I'm going to teach you the simple 5 levels of a real estate agent. And the cool thing is we all start at level 1. But what I found out when I first got into this business, I had no idea where I was, I had no idea where I was going. I just got in for 2 reasons. Number 1 is I wanted more money in my life, and I saw that real estate agents could do that. The second is I wanted more freedom in my life. But what I found out very quickly is that the money just didn't start coming into me, number 1. Number 2 is I found myself busy all the time. Clear to the point that even when I did start making money, I was working like 29 hours a day, 8 days a week. So I'm going to share with you this roadmap and understand the 5-level agent, 5-level real estate agent, so you can understand where you are and where you're going. Okay? So when we look at this, of the 5 levels of a real estate agent, the first level is what I call the appointment setting level. Okay, this is the appointment setting level. And why I call it that is because you need money coming into your bank account. If you don't got money going to your bank account, you're not going to survive this business, especially the next decade as we continually see the fall of the American empires and and we see the Chinese empire continue to reign. And so as we look at this, technology is shifting. And you know it, I know it, how the industry works is shifting. And so you gotta be ahead of this. But first of all, we need to get you paid. So when we're talking about how we're gonna get you paid going forward in your business, you gotta be setting appointments. And so I'm gonna give you a simple 4-step sales system. Number 1, you gotta have contacts. You've gotta be either having people chase you down or you gotta go chasing people down. Second though, this is key, write this down, meaningful conversations. You've gotta have meaningful conversations, 30 or more a day through voice note, video, phone call, text message, face-to-face, 30 or more meaningful conversations every day that lead to this section of setting appointments. That's number 3. And then the 4th, we talk about and train about in my academy. It's called Presentation Mastery. You got to go give a presentation and monetize it. This level, you're probably making somewhere around $50K a year or less. Everyone starts here at the very beginning because you're brand new. But what we want to get to extremely quickly is to what I call a level 2 agent. So we got level 1 here, level 2 over here. This is all about the network phase. Now, this is where you're making somewhere around probably in today's market, 50K on the low end to 180K on the high end. Now, this is where agents get stuck, is they finally got some money coming in and they think they figured out. The last 3 to 5 years, it's been so easy to make $200,000 a year, especially in the last 24 months in real estate, because these commissions are $10,000. All you got to do is 20 deals and you make $20,000 or $200,000. Some of these commissions on the small end are 15 grand, but you might be in a town like Lafayette, Indiana, where your average commission is only $6,000. But overall, you're going to be making between $50,000 and $180,000 a year, and this is what you focus on. It's the network phase. Write that down, the network phase. This is where you build a network of raving fans. You have a brand with your brand image, you have a message, and you deliver it to them over and over again. This is where we talk about your marketing system. So I did a recent training and I've got an upcoming 3-day challenge where I talk about this, but I talk about the sales system, which is happening in level 1, and then in level 2, I talk about a marketing system. Why do I say it that way? Well, when we look at it this way, marketing system, which is building a referral-based network, you will monetize your relationships for life. What would that do to your life, your business, if you knew you had a group of people that you had such an amazing relationship with, you could get paid forever? I want you to think about that. The 3rd level that we're going to take a look at is what I call the leverage level. Now, when we look at the leverage level, a realtor in this space is probably earning somewhere around 180K on the low end. Oh, I want to change my color here. Let's go back. Mickey, my film guy, is probably like, dude, what are you doing? Just do it, right? So we're going to do 180K. Whoops, 180K to probably in today's market on the probably around 250 to 300K per year. This number's kind of changing with the inflation that's changing. Have you noticed? What you can buy costs more money today. It costs you more dollars to get the same thing. That's because inflation is coming at us really, really fast. But this agent is the leverage agent. And this is where you need to use 2 things. Technology asset, number 1, and human asset, number 2. And the way we use technology assets to do it today is through CRMs, through sales pages, through virtual assistant technology that's a mix with human asset, through video, through voice note drop, through DocuSign or DigiSign, or through SkySlope. These are some examples of these. But the human asset, that's going to be someone like a virtual assistant. It's going to be like Mickey behind the camera. It's going to be a sales agent on your team, transaction coordinator, a junior agent, assistant, director of operations, executive director. Like these are just a few of them. But in order to go past this level, which is the leverage level, it will require that you begin to create these technology and human assets, which leads us to the fourth level. The fourth level is all about the leadership level. Leadership level. So we got level 3 here, level 4 here. Level 3 is you are probably generating in this level somewhere around, on the low end, 300K, to on the high end, you're probably close to 500K at this point, maybe even more. I've seen some people at the leadership level as high as 750K. But here's the deal, especially in these lower levels down here, you are doing the majority of the work. This is what's called a business operator. In these upper 2 levels, you'll find out what we train in our company, in our organization up here. This is what's called the ownership levels. Okay, in fact, that is what the name of the 5th level when we look at the 5 levels of a real estate agent. It's called ownership, and we'll talk about that shortly. But what takes you to go from level 1 up here clear to level 5 as we do this is we want to make absolutely certain that we develop leadership. Leadership is about your culture, it's about your towards values, it's about your way values, and it's number 1, you becoming an A-team leader. And people want to be in your proximity. The olden days was go to school, get a job, prepare for retirement. That's bullshit, especially today. The new era then became not what you know, but who you know. Have you ever heard that before? Well, that is actually bullshit today as well. It's no longer who you know, it's who freaking knows you. And at this level of leadership, when we look, it's about proximity equaling power. In fact, people come to me all the time wanting to mentor with me. And I was talking to Antoine today. He makes our company roughly about $50,000 a year. He's an amazing asset and leader, A-team leader in my organization. And he runs his own company because we do it as a partnership. But when we look at this and we look at that revenue that comes to the company, which by the way, I don't spend more than 2 hours a month with him. And if you take 50,000 divided by 12, that's equal somewhere to about $4,000 a month. I get $4,000 for 2 hours, which is $2,000 per hour with him. And growing, because we will take that to probably over the next 3 to 5 years to a value of $500,000 in that relationship. When we look about that, that's called leadership. You have got to do that leadership to where then you can step into level 5, which is this level, the ownership level. And when we look at the ownership level, someone in this level is generating around $1 million or more a year, maybe a little bit less, but here's the caveat. They're at an ownership level where they've stepped out of sales production. Me and Antoine are both at this level, and we have salespeople in our organization. In fact, probably in the next 12 months, I will step out as the CEO role of my own company. I still have that job to an extent. But what we want to begin to take you to with these 5 levels of an agent is to go from wherever you are on this roadmap to this level right here, which is the 5th level of a real estate agent. And I know this looks like chicken scratch at this point, but if you're following along with me, you'll understand that no matter where you are, I can help you go to the next level. Like James Mitchell does over $1.3 million every single year now, and he stepped into that ownership level. Cody Barton, his companies are doing over $500,000 every single month, and he has stepped out of any production as well. Matt Beard is a part of that organization. Jack, one of our top customers, Jack, is pacing about $8 million in revenue this year in 2022. I think he did about $6.5 million last year. And this happens because they're able to create leverage, leadership through cultures and values, and eventually ownership in their role. Doesn't even mean you have to be the owner of the company, although that would be awesome and you develop that with time and through partnerships. But what we really want to teach is financial freedom. over the next decade, as we continue to see inflation come and we see the continual fall of the American empire, you've got to anticipate where the global economy is going, especially in real estate. The other thing you've got to look at is the shifting tides of real estate brokerages. It's no longer about a brokerage, it's about a network. You've got companies like Real Brokerage that have completely innovated how the technology works and streamlining the process. I want to know if you've noticed this. In the last 24 months, the speed of the real estate transaction is so much more rapid. In fact, almost every transaction. And you need to be able to keep up with that pace. And the only way you do that is through developing leverage through technology assets, leaders to run those assets or human assets, and then you develop the idea of an ownership mentality. So I want to make sure that I continue to help you there. Make sure you reach out to me so that we can get you connected with one of our sales advisors, or get on my next 3-day challenge or one of my webinars coming up so that I can help you do this. I absolutely can help you identify where you're at and where you're going. I'll see you there.